Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to A Little Bit of Magic with. I am actually rather nervous today because I don't know why actually, I just am. So if I stumble on my words, I do apologize. Hey to everyone who's in the chat so far. So I see three Mousekeeper here and Adam and Nick and Adventures with Scott and Amy, who will be one of my guests coming up in a few weeks. So I look forward to that. I am going to be talking about some news that's been announced this week, which some of it I'm sure many of you will know already. And I'm going to bring in my guest first of all, and then we can talk about the news after that as well. Then I've got my usual chat talking about the Disney parks, talking about the social side, talking about a quiz that we have coming on. And then that'll be it. So let's get cracking with what we're going to do. Today's guest is I called her a professional, but she didn't seem to think she is. But I think she's a professional. She has been to all the Disney parks that exist. So I'm very jealous. We're going to be talking about that. She recently went to the last D23, so that's awesome. And I have met her live at an event which was hosted by people I should remember, and I can't remember now, so she'll have to remind me. But it is the wonderful coming on today, Nick Goes Traveling, if my arrow wants to work. And there she is. Hey.
Hi, it was
How-
the Zavi event.
The Zavi event, that's it. Oh, I felt so bad. I knew it was Lego, but I was like, it's definitely not Lego, the ones who organised it. So yeah, thank you very much for coming on today. We have some amazing people coming on. So we've got Scott and Amy saying hey to everyone.
Hi guys.
Of course, we have you. We've got Adam coming on to say hey. We've got three Mousekeys who are on. They're saying hey to you as well.
Hi, three Mousekeys. We met them at the Zavi event as well.
We did meet the three Mousekeys at the Zavi event. I was going to say that, and then I was like, I can't remember if that's correct or not. It might be different. Like I said, I am panicking today, so I do apologize, everyone. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through the news segment, and then afterwards it will give us some topics to chat about. So just think about what you want to talk about, and I'll update everyone in the chat. So let's bring it to the stream. That is the wrong slide. Let me go back again. I should have practiced this. There we go. So this is the PowerPoint. You can tell that it's quite new to me to do this. Basically, the news is going to be latest Disney news with a little bit of magic. And first of all, to start off with, is National Geographic. They do special holidays and they call it expeditions. So they are doing an Indiana Jones National Geographic expedition. And that is to celebrate the new release of Indiana Jones coming to cinemas in June, I believe. So basically, they are taking families or solo trips around different parts of the world where the films have been set. So you've got films that are based in Peru, Egypt, Italy, Morocco, and you can go on these holidays either to all of them or to just one of them. So you just head to National Geographic's website, type in expeditions for Indiana Jones, and then it will take you further information there. Next on the list is everyone's favorite, Bob Iger, with the costs that have been coming to Disney at the moment, especially Walt Disney World and Disneyland, and the expansions. So I don't know if people can read it in the slide. It might be a bit too small, but basically, apologize for spelling mistakes. The revenue has been up by 17% this quarter of the year. And they believe that the income is related to the international parks rather than the American parks being Disneyland and Walt Disney World. They feel that Disneyland and Walt Disney World haven't done as good this year, mainly for the reason that they've been focusing on Disneyland and the expansion there. The expansion is not really spoken about much at the moment, but that's still going on in the background. And Bob Iger states that we have a huge opportunity to continue to invest in Florida. I noted that our plans are to invest $17 billion over the next 10 years, which is what the state should want us to do. So currently they are in chats with the Florida state to see how much they can expand and what they're allowed to do and what they're required to do under the law. So if you've been looking into the law side of it, that's what's been going on behind the scenes. He continues then to say that we are closely evaluating where it makes the most sense to direct in the future. So whether that be completely new lands or expanding the lands they already have, again, we're not too sure. But with funding that they are getting in currently, they are focusing it on the other international Disney parks. So people have obviously heard about Disney Plus. It's quite a well-known thing. And also there's a thing called Hulu, which is mainly based in America, but it's now going to be available internationally. And they're combining the two later on in the year for Disney Plus stroke, don't know what I'm doing, Hulu. And it will be only available currently in US residents, as we internationally have been given Star, but that will soon be coming to be all over Hulu, Star and Disney Plus. So that's exciting. There is new merchandise available specifically for D23 members, and I believe it's the Gold Club members who can get their hands on this special limited edition merchandise for the Muppets Mayhem coming out soon. It is limited edition. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? So it is limited edition. So go and grab your hands if you're a D23 member as soon as possible, because it was released yesterday. So go and grab your hands on that. It has been announced today for the Eat to the Beat Festival who will be performing. So there are some acts there who I'm not too sure of, but I know that I've heard of Boys to Men. So I would zoom in for you. I don't know if I can. I can't zoom in for you guys on there, but if you want a copy, just message me after or leave a note in the comments and I'll send you over a copy. And just to let you know that the Eat to the Beat Festival is during the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot, which starts on 27th of July to November the 18th this year.
That's a good lineup, that.
It is actually. Could you see it there? I hope you could.
Yeah, I seen Billy Ocean's on there, and I actually seen Billy Ocean at Eat to the Beat in 2014, and he was amazing. So if anyone's here,
Oh wow,
Billy
awesome.
Ocean.
That's cool. And I'm sure most people in the chat, as well as yourself, Nick, knows about the big news that's come from Walt Disney World. So from January the 9th next year, there'll be no theme park reservations are required for park guests. So that's exciting, but it has to be for dated tickets, I believe. That's what is available. Non-dated tickets you have to still reserve, I think. So annual pass holders and cast members will not need to park reservations either. But again, it's with restrictions to the bounds of their annual pass limits and stuff like that. With stays from January the 9th as well next year, dining plans are back. So this can be both for the quick service or the main just Disney dining plan. They've got it in two different sections. So it can be combined or it can be just one or the other. I'm guessing like it's half board or full board. That's the kind of thing I'm assuming they're going for. There will be early park entry from next year as well, and it will be continuing throughout 2024. So for all Disney hotel guests, it will be early park entry, and then there'll be extra hours in the evening, and that will be for all Disney Deluxe guests, whether that be hotels or villas. And also Disney Genie Plus is being updated. So that is something exciting. So I've used it personally. Have you used it yourself, Nick?
Yeah, we used it in California in September. And before it, we were like looking for ages because people were saying it was quite hard to use, but we absolutely loved it. We thought it was great. So we had a great time with Genie Plus.
Yeah, so did I actually. We'll talk about that a bit later. And for anyone else who wants to know, today's guest, as I've said earlier, is NicGoesTravelling. So please go and like and subscribe her channel. The link has been given in the comments already, but you can go ahead and like as well. So that's just a quick link. If you search it on YouTube for NicGoesTravelling, it'll be straight there, as well as on Instagram. And I'm going to plug myself. So if you like what you're seeing, then please subscribe to my channel and give it a big thumbs up for today's show. So thank you very much for watching. Let's get into the chat. Oh, that was a lot of news to take in, wasn't it?
Is there anything to unpack?
Is there anything in there that you didn't know about or you're interested in?
I'm quite interested in the expansions. I mean, I knew that they were looking for land and stuff, but it's exciting to see where they're going to go with that and how they're going to do it. I mean, I think Walt Disney World would benefit from an Avengers campus, but obviously they have the rules around Universal having the rights and stuff there, so it's a bit of a shame. I think that's maybe where they're losing out to Disneyland Paris and maybe Disneyland as well, because there's a whole fan base of
Yeah,
Marvel fans there that are now going to Disney parks to experience Avengers Campus. So it's a bit of a
yeah,
shame, but
it is. But they can probably work their way around, I think. I mean, there is an
yeah,
Avengers Campus in Disneyland, isn't there, itself, isn't there? Or am I
yeah,
just making that up?
mhm.
Yeah. But then there's also Universal in Hollywood. So that's kind of the sort of side where Disneyland is in a
Yeah,
way. So they managed to get away with it. So maybe, who knows? It might happen in
I
the
know,
future. But there's debate basically. So Florida are like, you've got to use this land. Here's so much money. You've got a certain time frame. But then on the other side, Disney are like, well, we want to do this in Florida. Like, eh.
I
So it's
know,
all up for debate. It's not really much more information about what's going to be happening at the moment. So
I know.
yeah. Thank you very much for coming and joining today, Three Mousekeys. I hope you have a good night
Oh, see you
and give our
soon.
love to Charlie. Thank you very much for
Oh, I hope he's
joining.
okay.
Yeah, I hope so too. Okay, so just before we continue, anyone in the chat, if you want to leave any questions for Nick or myself or any other comments, then please just drop them below and we would love to know. So, first of all, I usually ask, tell us about your social media. How did you start? Why did you start?
So I started it back in 2016, I think it was. I was living in Australia at the time, and for years I've posted Disney on my personal page, but people would say, "Oh, I don't know why you like Disney so much," and I felt like it was getting on people's nerves a little bit because I was constantly saying, "I'm here," or "This is I've bought this new thing," and people were like, "Oh, another one of these Disney adults that we don't know how to cope with." So I decided to start up my Instagram, but back then I wasn't called NicGoesTravelling. I was under My Disney Trips. So I started off as that. So if anybody decides to scroll back far enough on my YouTube channel, it will be branded under that. But when I moved back here, and after, I think it was just before lockdown, I kind of wanted to do a bit more than just Disney. So that's how I rebranded to NicGoesTravelling. So it was a little bit of a mixture, and then lockdown happened and we couldn't travel anywhere. So it was a bit
Yeah,
awkward. Like I don't go traveling anywhere because I can't leave the house. The only traveling I'm doing is a 20-minute walk around the block. But um, yeah, it was more so I could do a bit more than Disney, but I'm kind of just still mainly Disney, which I love. It's my
yeah.
passion really. But
You like
that's how
bringing
it started.
lifestyle in as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, like a bit of home, or if I've been out for dinner somewhere that I really like or something like that,
yeah,
I'll post that as well. Like everyday life kind of thing, and obviously Disney
yeah.
theme parks, stuff like that.
So you have a series actually based on your wedding that you had in Italy. So it was wedding part 2, wasn't it? Do you want to tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
that?
So we were due to get married in Rome in 2021, and it was all going to plan. And about a month before Italy changed their rules, they were changing constantly because they had it quite bad during the pandemic, and the rules were changing by the day. So it changed to a 5-day quarantine before you could actually go out and about in Italy. And a lot of our guests were only coming for the weekend, so they couldn't quarantine. And you had to pay, obviously, to quarantine too. So it was going to cost them even more money than it was already costing them to come over. So we weren't sure what to do. And our venue over there suggested that we do the legal side here and then a couple days later fly out to Rome. So we booked the registry office here and everything seemed to go okay. And then literally 2 or 3 weeks before the date, they changed the rules where it was a 2-week quarantine. So we were like, it's went from a 5-day to a 2-week. And I called up the registry office and they refused to move the day, and we wouldn't be able to get our money back. So we literally had to have this really small legal wedding. And then in May last year, we flew out to Italy and had our wedding 2.0 is what what we've been
Yeah.
calling it. So it
And
was very exciting, but
was there any Disney touches that you added?
yeah, so we wanted some, but not like a full Disney wedding, obviously, because we wanted Italy to be the main focus. We got engaged in Rome, so we joked that, oh, it'd be nice to come back here and get married. And then when we looked at it, we were like, actually, it's more affordable to go out there, and then our guests can actually get like a bit of a holiday out of it, and so can we. But we wanted to still have little bits of Disney. So I had a little Disney Pandora bracelet, not like your charm bracelet. I've got a picture of it on my Instagram, but it's like a little gemmed one basically with Minnie Mouse, our cake topper, and our first dance was the song from Endgame, which was the one where Captain America dances at the end. It's a post-credit scene. He dances
Yeah.
with oh, her name's just escaped me now. Oh my goodness, that's so bad. Oh my god. I can't think of her name, but it's a post-credit scene anyway. So
Yeah.
that was our first dance because Stuart's a massive Marvel. I mean, we all love Marvel, but Stuart's like a huge Marvel fan, and we did have another song picked, but the more we listened to that, we were like, no, this is our song. Like we love this song, so it's Peggy. Yeah, thanks, Rand. It's been a long, long time is the name of the song. So if anybody wants to check it out, it's quite an oldie worldy song, but it's a really nice scene as well. It's
Yeah, it's the black and white scene, is
yeah.
it, if I remember correctly? Or am I remembering wrong?
Yeah. I don't know actually,
It's
Emma. Now
where
you
back
say
in
this is
time, isn't it? It's back in time. The scene was
yeah, they
back in
kind of
time,
meet
wasn't it?
in like their little house, and you can see them like through the window, and it kind of goes through the
Yeah,
window. And they're
yeah.
dancing.
I can't remember if it
But
was
it's
black and
really
white
nice.
then or not, but I know the scene you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bad Marvel fan here, hands up.
I know. Our
So
name, Peggy's name, just escaped me as well.
so is Stuart mainly Marvel, or both of you equal Marvel Disney?
No, he's definitely mainly Marvel. Very much hugely Marvel fan. Like our last trip to Disneyland Paris, I think we spent more time in Avengers Campus, but it was because we'd never been. So,
It's a coloured
yeah, it's
scene,
coloured.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool.
But yeah,
So have you been to Avengers Campus with Stuart?
yeah. So we've done the two now. Actually, we've done California first, which was
Okay.
interesting because with Paris being so close, you would like we thought that might have been the first one to visit, but um because we were in California, that was the first one. So it was interesting seeing Avengers Campus in California compared to Disneyland Paris. Like they're two completely different things. Like they're two completely different campuses. I
Okay,
actually
so
really
what
like California.
do you prefer, California over Paris?
I think so. I don't know. It's really difficult because they're so different. They're different. They're laid out differently as well. And plus, California has Mission Breakout, which I am obsessed with.
Yeah.
So I think if Disneyland Paris maybe changed Tower of Terror to Mission Breakout, I think it would maybe flow a bit better in that area. But I do love
Yeah.
Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
But Mission
So
Breakout, I think it just yeah.
so like explain Mission Breakout, because I've heard about it, but my heart's always in Tower of Terror, so I can't imagine it being anything different.
I know. So it's the same concept, it's the same ride style, everything like that, but you are in the collector's I don't know, like his building basically, and the
Yeah.
guardians are all trapped. So you are with Rocket trying to break the guardians out. I don't want to
Okay.
spoil it too much, but it's the same concept in terms of ride building. Obviously externally looks different, but it's the same where you would queue up and get into like the rows and stuff like that, like same as Tower of Terror. You
Yeah.
stand in rows and get fed in that way. But the music's different, so it's a bit like Cosmic Rewind, where
Yeah.
you don't know what song you're going to get. So I think there's a chance of 5 or 6 songs there, maybe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you don't know what song you're going to get. You
Yeah.
literally every time you don't know. So but I'm like a massive Guardians of the Galaxy fan, so
Yeah, so am I.
we, I was like so pumped for it. Whereas Tower of Terror, I need to build myself up to go on it. Like I don't know, the
Okay.
ghosts and stuff like really spook me. Like that
Yeah, yeah,
sounds
yeah.
so stupid. But like I get like nervous before Tower of Terror because I'm like, this is so creepy. And like the
Yeah.
one in Paris now with a little girl, and I'm like, oh, she is so spooky that I'm just a bit like, I hate this ride. But then
And
Guardian,
they've
like Mission
always changed the
Breakout,
sequence now as well in Paris. They've
yeah.
changed the sequences. Do they do that in Guardians as well?
I don't know actually. I've got no idea. We done it at night, but at night it was different because we done it during um Oogie Boogie Bash. So it was a different song, like it was a song specifically made for Oogie Boogie Bash nights. So it
Yeah.
was like Mission Breakout. I can't remember the name of it now, but um the the song changed, so it's like one specific song on those
Yeah.
nights. Um but it was so good. It was so good. You're basically just breaking the guardians out. So every time it stops, you're trying to break a new guardian out of that level. If that is like
Ah,
Monsters
cool.
After Dark or something like that, I think it was called. But yeah, it's awesome. It's so good, and you don't think that you're on Tower of Terror, whereas I'm always like, oh, it's going to drop again. But
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I was pumped, like, oh, let's go for the next Guardian. Like, we're going to get them. Like, here we go. And although you're like dropping or like going really fast up, you're not really thinking about it because you're pumping yourself up to save the next Guardian. It was really good.
that sounds awesome. To me, the way you're describing it, it sounds like when you're saving the Guardians, it would be like web slingers. You're like using your hands to try and grab them and save them. I'm assuming it's not like that.
No, no,
No.
no. You're just there. It's the same in terms of like the screens and stuff, but there's other things going on, but I'll save
Okay.
that
You
for the
don't need,
people
yeah,
that
you don't
actually
need to
go.
break.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
I
it
know.
sounds really exciting. And I love the layout of it on the outside. The exterior looks fantastic as well. So it's
I know.
always made me go, ooh, I really want to try that. But Tower of Terror has my heart at the moment. I can't imagine it being
Yeah.
any different. So Cosmic Rewind, you've also ridden that. Have you ridden it with every song?
I've not actually ridden Cosmic Rewind. The
Oh,
last time I
sorry,
was in
I
Florida.
misheard you. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I just knew that there was different songs because I keep seeing on people's stories like, we got this song or like we got this song. So um I know that it's the same kind of thing where you don't know what song you're going to get on it. But the last time I was in Florida was 2014, so it's changed
Okay.
massively since then. Like I've
Yeah.
not seen Pandora or anything like that.
So, have you heard the stories about the Cosmic Rewind making people feel really nauseous or not nauseous at all, and the way it goes? Do you think that you'll end up being nauseous with it by what you've heard?
Well, I get really travel sick. Like I get
Okay.
really motion sick. But my friend actually runs a small shop and she does motion sickness roll on. Well, it's like
Oh,
travel
okay.
sickness. And it is
Okay.
genuinely the only thing that now works for me. I love it. It's great. I
Okay.
don't know if I'm allowed to plug her shop, but her
Yeah,
shop's great,
I was
amazing.
gonna say if you want to, then go for it.
Yeah, so it's the Fun Impossible. My friend Laura makes it's all natural roll-ons, like it's all from essential oils, but it's Wayfinder, so it's themed to Moana, or they're all
Oh,
like
cool.
Disney themed.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant, so I'd probably have to stock up on that before going on. I get really see on Star Tours that kills me. I
I
am
hate
ill.
Star Wars. Yeah. I can't even wear the glasses. I usually just either look around just like this. I love the story,
Yeah.
but no, it just makes me, nah,
I'm
can't deal with
okay
it.
on Ratatouille though. I'm okay
No,
on
I'm not that either.
are you not?
No,
No.
definitely not. I learned that the last time. Usually I'm like, "Oh, I couldn't just about do it last time." No, definitely not. So, talking about those two different parks, I know for a fact that you've been to every single Disney park. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so rate them all from bottom to top.
So from bottom to top, it's really difficult because I had a bit of a difficult time in Shanghai. I loved the park, the rides are amazing, the technology is unreal, but there was just some things that bothered me a lot in terms of cleanliness and the culture differences. And I think I was a bit naive and not really realizing how different it can be. Some of the things were so different to the parks that I'd experienced before. So I'd probably say Shanghai is at the bottom. I feel bad saying that, but um, in terms of my experience, that's probably bottom of the list for me. I don't know if I would return. It'd probably take a lot for me to go back. Um, it's really hard because I love Hong Kong, but I feel like the other parks would come above Hong Kong for me. They're all kind of on the same level. So I'd
Yeah.
probably it's hard to rate them, so I'd probably say Shanghai, and then Hong Kong, maybe. I don't know, it's difficult because I love Hong Kong. And then Walt Disney World, and then Disneyland Paris, maybe, although that's the park I visit the most.
Yeah.
And then Disneyland, and then Tokyo.
Tokyo's
Don't
the
know if I
top.
missed it. Yeah. To be fair, Tokyo and Disneyland are on par with each other.
Okay, why is that then? What makes Tokyo Disney the top for you?
Do you know, the people are just the most amazing people I have ever met in all my life. And the rules really, I felt, should be adopted everywhere else. So we were sitting at I was sitting at the parade, and I was sitting on the pavement, and there was a cast member going around saying, if you're sitting down, you can't move the whole parade. You've got to stay seated. So as soon as it stops, you can get up, but until it stops, you have to stay seated, because there's people sitting behind you and they won't be able to see if you stand up, and like, it's just a respect thing.
Yeah,
And also, your camera is not allowed to be any higher than your eye level, so that
yeah,
behind you, they don't get blocked by your camera or like your phone, which I thought was really good as well. And the queuing, like, I could queue there all day, every day. They're so respectful. People don't get in your space. Like, I'd gone from Shanghai, Hong Kong and Shanghai, where people just are so close, and it's the same in Paris as well. People get so close to you. It's the same kind of in a lot of places, to be honest. Even here, like, we went to Alton Towers last summer, and we were like, getting close to us in the queue isn't going to get you on this ride any quicker. Like, guys, get back. Like, I don't know, the queuing thing for us, like, for me, was like really, really. I really enjoyed that because I felt like I had a lot of space, and like, I hate feeling claustrophobic, so
yeah,
that was another thing. And just the merch was unreal. The park, Tokyo Disney Sea, it was like Epcot on steroids. It was crazy. It was so cool though. It's obviously different to Epcot, but it's all the little ports, and like, one section of it looked like Venice. I'm like, am I in Venice or am I in Tokyo? Like, where am I right now? And I am obsessed with Duffy. Like, Duffy, Shelley May, all of those characters I am so obsessed with. I have been a Duffy fan for years now. Even when Duffy used to be at Disneyland Paris, I was there. I was like, he is my priority. I'm meeting Duffy, although he doesn't ever come out now. But I loved it. The characters from Duffy and Friends were everywhere in Tokyo.
yeah. I can see
Um,
you're wearing a headband with them.
I know this was actually a D23 purchase, believe it or not.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, I think it's from Olani though. I think it's an exclusive from there that they had at the expo, because I think they were pushing. Is it Ulumel? I hate saying their names wrong, but I think there was a whole section with that character. So that was a
Yeah,
D23 purchase. That was so. Um, but yeah,
and
and in Disneyland, it's on level for me with Tokyo. Like, Stuart and I just had the best time in Disneyland. It was great, and it's the park. It's like the original, and seeing like the firehouse, and I don't know. It was just, we had such
extra
a good
magical.
time that that's on level. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So out of all the Disney parks, of course, like I say, you've been to all of them. Which has the best castle?
I think Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Scott and Amy, I don't know if they're both behind the screen tonight or not, say that I love Duffy too. We missed him by a few months in Florida. They stopped the meets and greets back in
Oh,
2016.
I know,
That
it's so
sucks to
sad. I don't know why.
know. So many
I don't know
people
why
have
they
a love for
stopped.
them as well. So
I
it is a
know, I
shame.
know,
Maybe we
I
should
know.
protest and get them to bring back Duffy and Friends. There's
I just love them all.
have you heard about Robert and Duffy the Bear? He's like the Duffy the Bear
Yeah.
mascot. I met him a few weeks ago at the event I went to. Hey, he's so lovely,
Oh, he's
honestly.
at Disneyland Paris quite a lot, isn't he?
Yeah,
That's where
yeah,
he's at most. Yeah.
yeah, he is a lovely guy. Lovely guy. I love Duffy as well. It gave me more love for Duffy as well. I don't know why,
Yeah.
it just did. Seeing it in person as well, just amazing. Okay, right, let's go on to some of this and then we'll go back towards your traveling. things.
Okay.
So, first of all, a fact for you, which you might not know or you might know, I don't know, is Lion King was the first Disney animation to have completely been done by original storyline, and it was based on a Shakespeare novel story. Do you know which story
Oh,
novel
cool.
that might be?
No, I have no idea. I didn't know that.
Based on Hamlet.
Oh,
So
really?
it is an original story, but the whole characters are based around the characters on Hamlet. So
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
piece of information for you. So it's obviously you've got the um the king who's died is Scar because the king wants him to die, the uncle who's the
Hmm.
new king, and yeah, bit complicated, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
wow.
so Walt Disney actually had to take out loads of loans and a mortgage on his house to fund Snow White. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that actually. I love Snow White. Snow White's a classic for me.
I was going to ask what
Um,
your opinion is on Snow White because it's a torn thing,
yeah,
isn't it? It's 50-50 of what way it could go. So
I
why
love
do
it.
you
I
like
love
Snow?
Snow White. I just love the Seven Dwarfs. They're so cute. I do love their story, and I love their little cottage, and yeah, I
Yeah,
really like Snow White. Snow White's actually my mum's favourite as well, so I think that's probably why
that's
I
cool.
like it.
Do you
Yeah.
feel that the ride at Paris does it justice?
No,
You don't.
no, that
Why is
that
that?
scares me. That
Yeah,
ride is so scary.
it
It's
is a
not as
very
bad as it
scary
used
ride.
to be, though. I feel like it used to be worse. I feel like it
You
used
think
to be a
so?
bit more traumatic. Yeah, I don't know. I
I
feel like
think
they've
it's got
tamped it down.
worse. I
Do
think
you?
it's been worse since it's been refurbished. Every time I see the trees just leaning over, and I'm, no,
Yeah.
no, I don't like that bit. I know it's obviously fake, but it's still, yeah, don't like it.
I
Not
know. I
at all.
know.
Yeah, and then I don't like the bumpiness of it. I think the bumpiness takes away
Yeah.
the magic of it as well. So that's a shame. But I'm glad to hear that you like Snow White. Talking about Snow White, where did I write this down on here? Um, okay, so did you know that the wishing well in Disneyland, which is by Sleeping Beauty's castle, oh, hello, actually has Snow White's whisper when you drop money into it?
Yeah, it's so cool. And I was going to say as well, the right next to that, they've got the little ivory. I think no, they maybe not ivory, but they're the little statues of the Seven Dwarfs. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
So it's a water feature at the side, and if forgive me if this is the wrong fact, but the person who made them made all the Seven Dwarfs, but they made Snow White the same size as the
Okay,
Seven Dwarfs,
yeah,
which obviously isn't true to size because she's obviously a lot bigger. So what they had to do is they had to put Snow White at the top of the water fountain, like the waterfall, to make her
yeah,
look like she was smaller because she was further away, and
yeah,
they positioned the Seven Dwarfs closer so that it made it look like she was in the distance, whereas actually she's the same size as them. It was a mistake with the manufacturer, I think, or the person who gifted them made them all the same size, so they had to position Snow White higher up the hill to make it look normal.
that's fascinating. I did not know that. That's
Yeah,
fascinating. You know a lot of Disney facts yourself, don't you? I've seen you
yeah,
share
I
some on your
think.
channel and Instagram.
Yeah, I might have taken a picture of it. I'll send you it after, and I can show you. It's a nice little fountain.
Yeah, definitely. So do you know about the whispers of Snow White from the Wishing Well?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard it though. I've heard people saying that it happens, but I never heard it.
Yeah. No, it's something that I'd like to hear for sure. But it's nice to know that all the donations that are, well, all the wishes with the coins that are thrown in are donated to Make a Wish. So that's
Yeah.
really lovely to know because Disney and Make a Wish have a long-standing relationship. Oh, sorry, I've got my cat climbing all over me today. But your bum. Um, okay, so did you know that the drawstring bridge at Walt Disney World, is it Walt Disney World? I believe it is. I should have written this down. I'm so sorry. Basically, there's a drawstring bridge in one of the castles. Did you know what days they were opening for? They've only been open twice. Do you know what days and why?
Oh no, I don't actually. Maybe if you tell me, I'll remember, but I don't know. I don't think I do.
So I think it is um, Disneyland, not Walt Disney World. I think it's Disneyland. I should have written this down correctly. I always rush when I'm writing things. And there's a drawbridge, and it's been opened twice. Once it's been for the remodel of Fantasyland,
Oh,
so that was interesting to know. And once has been for when Disneyland opened originally, so the
oh,
first day. So it's lovely. There must be footage somewhere for it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd love to
That's
see
so
that in
cool.
person. Is there
Yeah, me too.
anything that you've always wanted to see in person at Disney Park that you've not actually seen yet?
Oh, I don't know. Well, the new castle at Hong Kong. I feel like I need to go back there because the castle is new.
Yeah.
It was tiny when I went. It was like the same as Disneyland, so it was
Oh,
just a small.
really?
Yeah, now they've got the new
Yeah.
one. But I don't know if, like, even at Disneyland Paris, I can't think if there's anything that I would like to see. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's a good question, actually. I'd love to
Do
see
you?
Groot. I would love to meet Groot. That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. I think I'd be scared meeting Groot because I'm scared meeting Darth Vader, and obviously Darth Vader's quite tall. I mean, he's a dark side person, but anything
I know what
tall,
you
I'm a bit
mean.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, bit
I
awkward.
know. I'm the same. I'm only 5'1", so Groot would be
Yeah.
huge compared to me.
Yeah, because there've been some Groot walkabouts recently at Paris for the Guardians
I
release,
know.
and there's been some people who have been shown pictures of them meeting, and Adam is saying, "I am Groot."
Adam, I know.
I can imagine that actually. Hello,
I
my
know.
cat is just, I don't know what he's doing. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, no, people have been sharing pictures of Groot walking around, and like literally, they look like miniature Lego figures
Mhm.
compared to Groot.
I
So
know. He's so
yeah,
tall.
I can imagine giving a hug would be awkward as well with all the vines going
I
around.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. So did you know where the flag, or do you know where the flags have come from in the American Adventure Pavilion in Epcot?
The flags. Were they donated by each country?
Mm-mm. Just the
No, I
American
don't know then.
flags.
Oh, the
It
American flags. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know actually.
it was actually recovered from the Twin Towers disaster.
No, no way. I did not
Mm.
know that.
So that is Walt Disney World's I don't know what the word is, but it's like their way of paying respect. That's it.
Oh
Their way
wow, I
of
didn't
paying
know that.
respect. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Does that make you feel yeah, how does it make you feel?
It's a difficult one because it's obviously a massive part of history.
Yeah.
I've been to the site, like I've been to the Freedom. Well, the Freedom Tower wasn't built when I was in New York, but I went to the site where you can see like the fountains where the towers stood, and it's very harrowing. It's a strange experience. It's almost silent there,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's really sad, but obviously it's a huge part of history now, and it's nice that they're paying the respects because there'll be a lot of people in America affected by it, and still to this
Yeah.
day, family members or someone that knows someone, or do you know what I mean?
Mm,
It's nice that they've done that.
yeah.
I did not know that that's where that came from.
Yeah. It is nice to know they've done that. And I agree, the word I was looking for was harrowing because I went as well, and I felt the
Yeah.
same things. Um, and when I learnt about this fact, I was both happy that this was a way to show the support and, do you know what I'm trying to say? But to show the
Respect, yeah.
support, yeah, respect. But then at the same time, it's also quite, I guess, interesting the way they thought about doing that, because
I
Disney is
know.
quite a happy place, and
Yeah.
that kind of brings things back down to earth just for that moment when you go past. So it's
Yeah,
very
sure.
interesting that they thought to do that. So
Mhm.
just thought I'd share that fact with you.
Yeah,
Yep,
no,
sorry
I
to
didn't know
bring the
that.
tone down. Sorry, I just realised it
No,
has
not at
brought my tone
all.
down. Okay, so did you know that Walt Disney World was not originally meant to be in Florida?
Oh, where was it meant to be?
St. Louis.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I
Hmm.
did know that.
And the reason why they moved it to Florida is because of the weather. So, like Disneyland Paris was
Oh,
meant to be
yeah.
like Southern Europe and stuff, they've moved it from St. Louis to Walt Disney World in Florida because the main theme park was going to be all indoors in St. Louis. And
Oh,
it
that would
felt
have been
like weird
strange.
to have a theme park that was
Yeah.
indoors. So, if you were a director of making parks for Disney and you were told you only can do any park indoors, what way would you make it?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's really tough. Maybe Epcot because you could put each country inside,
Yeah,
and a lot of their rides are inside as well.
yep.
So yeah, that would probably be the easiest one. That would be like the easy way out.
That would be. So, what if you didn't have an easy way out? What would you do?
Oh, I don't know. I've never been to an indoor theme park. I don't think either. I don't think I've ever been to an indoor theme park.
I've been to water theme parks, but not,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, but I don't never like inside though.
no. It seems peculiar, isn't it? The
I
idea of having
know.
a theme park inside just seems a bit. It reminds me of. Did you ever go to Fort Park?
I've never been to Thorpe Park. No, never.
Okay, they had a roller coaster there. I don't know, maybe in Alton Towers because I've never been there. You might be able to let me know. They had a ride called X No Way Out, and it was a roller coaster indoors. So like
Oh.
completely, the whole entrance was indoor. Everything was indoors. So yeah,
I mean, I guess it's like I know It's a Small World starts outside, but it technically is an indoor ride, so I would have to just hand pick all the indoor ones like Peter Pan, Pirates. I
still
would
the
just
easy
hand
way
pick
out
them
then.
all. Yeah, I know. Yeah, true. Yeah.
And did you know that there have been babies born in Disney, but do you know how many have been born in Disney since the original Disneyland opened?
I have no idea. I would not like to have a baby in Disney either. I would be,
I mean, who, like, yeah, I know it
who
must have
knows?
been
I would
really
be
awkward.
mad.
Yeah,
I know.
four babies since the opening
4.
of original
Oh.
Disney have been born, and not one of them has been named after a Disney character.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. I wonder if they were called Minnie or something, or
No,
Daisy.
not named after one
Oh,
character. And the last one was born in 2014. So,
that's quite
yeah,
recent, actually.
yeah. So it makes you think, like, what would be the procedure? Like, if someone's in a queue and it just happens, what is,
Oh my goodness. You would
how
definitely get a fast
awkward.
pass to the front.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
oh
funny.
man, that's
Um,
crazy. 4.
and there was a band that officially broke up by paper, like document contract. That's the word I'm looking for. Officially broke up in 1974. It's a very well-known band. Do you know who it was and what resort it was finished in?
I've got no idea. This is interesting, though. I'm excited to hear who it is.
It's actually the Beatles. They officially ended
No
in
way.
1974, and John Lennon was the last Beatle to sign away, saying, "Yo, it's over. I'm done." And it was in the Polynesian resort. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Jeez,
the
oh, no way. I love
Polynesian
the Beatles.
has, yeah. So that is a fact for you. Polynesian is now where you know the Beatles officially ended.
Do
So
they
he
have
was the
any proof of
last.
it?
I think there's like documents, but it's not like
Really?
around, yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw it on multiple sources, so it must be true. So yeah, interesting
Wow,
throw,
that's
isn't
so
it?
cool. Yeah, I know.
So before I go on to the actual quiz, I want to know, you're a D23 member, aren't you?
Yeah, we're just general members. We did look into the gold membership when we were at the expo in September, but we haven't taken that leap to go gold. It's quite a lot of money, and a lot of the benefits are for US residents, really. So
Yeah.
I know they just had like the event in Disneyland Paris, but that's quite rare that there's events here, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's
It was.
more though. There's definitely more starting to come this way, but
Yeah, because that was their
yeah.
first event in Paris, like literally the first D23 event. And it
Mhm.
sounds like they had a better day stroke event than just the insiders. So they got like
Yeah,
priority passes to see the shows, the rides. So yeah.
it was a lot of
I
money
want
though.
to know, because I'm a gold member myself, what are the benefits of being just a regular D23 member?
Not really much. You get like the news. You can still go to the expo. I mean, you can still. You have to be either a general member or higher to buy
Yeah,
tickets for D23 Expo. You can't just buy them off the bat. You've got to be registered. But yeah, it's mainly just keeping up with the newsletters. Um, that's really it, to be honest. And like I say, expo tickets,
yeah,
you can get expo tickets. Because even for Oogie Boogie Bash, we were in the queue, but my friend Lucy is a gold member, and she actually ended up buying our tickets for Oogie Boogie Bash because gold members got priority
yeah,
um, access. So she managed to get them for us, which was so good of her, because she got in first. So, I mean, that's the benefits of being a gold member. I guess if you're planning to go to Oogie Boogie Bash, you can get tickets before everybody else can. So,
yeah. I get as a gold member, I get a pin set every year. So do
oh
you get
yeah,
pin sets as well?
no, no, no. It doesn't
Okay.
cost anything to be a general member, so you're not paying for anything.
Ah, okay, I see. Cool.
It's
I never knew
free,
that.
like it's free to be a general member. Yeah, so if anybody wanted to join to get like the newsletters, it is free to join.
Yeah. So chat, there you
Mhm.
go. Go and join D23.
I
You
know.
might as well. You get good information, I must admit. Do you get the
Yeah, you
magazines as
do.
well, or do you get the emails?
No, that's what you're obviously paying your subscription fee for. Is
Yeah.
like the magazines and obviously your pin sets. Because at the expo they had it on display and it was around the world. It was all the pins from the parks. Did you
Yeah.
get that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were
Okay.
showing you like what you can get if you are a gold member. But at that time we just weren't sure if it was for us.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
have
it's
you like
definitely been
changed your
something.
mind or
Yeah. I've been looking at it, but I just don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, it's a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much money when you're getting those benefits. Like
yeah.
it's a quarterly magazine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, they're
suppose it's
really
not
good
when
and
you,
you get decent posters with it as well. So, yeah.
yeah. And the
Yeah.
expo was amazing. Like there was a lot of things there at the expo that if you were a gold member, you maybe got extra, or there was a lounge. There was different things like that that, it pays you're paying for that kind of thing.
Yeah. So, did you get any other special merchandise when you were there? I mean, you said you got your ears from there. So, was there any other limited edition merchandise just to the event?
Yeah, so I did get a Spirit jersey. I got a T-shirt that had all the 6 parks on it. I got my lounge fly, which is behind me here. It's this little
Oh, wow.
expo. Yeah, and it's just got the Mickey all over with like the silver,
Yeah.
and then it just has D23 Expo. Stuart got a T-shirt. We actually bought quite a bit. We got some prints. Um, we've not had them framed yet though, because we got the free print from the Art of Marvel hotel that we've got framed downstairs. Remember when if you booked a stay when that first opened, you got like a free print? I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't remember that.
No, but when we went to the D23 Expo, we bought a print the same size,
Okay.
in the hope that we would get that framed and it would go next to that, but we've not got round to doing that yet. I got some pins. We got loads of free stuff though, loads and loads.
Yeah.
We actually attended the Disney Legend ceremony. So how it worked is that you registered when you got your ticket. They then opened almost like a poll, so you could vote which panels that you wanted to see, but you weren't guaranteed to get on. It was like a lottery, so
Okay.
you might have got in, you might not. So we picked different ones so that at least the ones I would get into would be different from the ones that Stuart maybe got selected for.
Yeah.
So we lucked out and got the Disney Legends ceremony. So we seen all the new legends getting their award and being put into the Hall of Fame, if that's what you want to call it. And at the end of that, we got given a free pin that has like the Expo. It said like D23 Expo 2022 with Mickey and the colours, and it was stunning. I wish I'd prepared it because I could have showed you. I can't think where it is, but the print was the same design. It was all kind of similar. The Spirit on the back of the Spirit jersey, it's the same design, and the T-shirt and stuff like that as well. So
Yeah.
it was so good. There was loads of merch, but the shops were carnage though.
Really?
It was mad. Yeah. So Mickey's of Glendale upstairs. There was a few Mickey's of Glendale because that's what you showed earlier on your news that the Muppets
Yeah.
the Muppet stuff was Mickey's of Glendale. So they had like an Expo Mickey's of Glendale and then another Mickey's of Glendale and then a marketplace downstairs. So no one really knew what shop had the merch that had like the Expo specific stuff.
Yeah.
So the first day I was in the queue for one, and this is where I found these ears, but that was all stuff that you could get on shopdisney.com. Like it
Okay.
was a mix of like
Yeah.
park stuff and Shop Disney. So I was like running around because people on the forum, people were saying, "Oh, the bags are already sold out." When I'm like, "I want that lounge fly or I want a Spirit jersey." So I was like, "It's sold out." So what? You need to wait till day 2 for it to restock. But nobody seemed to know where it was. It was like panic stations.
Yeah.
And then someone eventually said, "Oh, it's a shop upstairs." So it was on like the 3rd floor or something.
Yeah.
So I ended up queuing for that, and Stuart went to the Disney Force Sounds or something like that. It was a podcast. So he went
Yeah.
and seen the podcast panel, while I waited in the queue. So I was like, I'm just going to put stuff in my basket and just go with it. And hopefully I'll just check out and then that'll be
Yeah.
it. Because I was just like panic buying because I thought if this is going to sell out, I want to make sure I've got it. So I had to go back and be like, to Stuart, I bought this print and it's huge. But I
Yeah.
did buy you a t-shirt. But I also got
And
myself a Spirit jersey.
you said that there's 2 days at least. How many days overall is the D23, and did you go to every day?
Yeah, so it was over 3 days. So originally we weren't planning to go to D23 Expo. We were planning to just do Disneyland, Universal, and then spend quite a lot of time in LA and Hollywood and see all the touristy things. And then when they announced the expo was coming back, we'd kind of said to each other, this would be good if we could do this. If we can get tickets, that would be good. It kind of falls around the time that we want to visit. And then I was waiting in the queue the night that they released the tickets because I think it was like 12 o'clock their time, but like 8 p.m. our time. So it was the same as, I don't know if you were on when they announced the deals for Walt Disney World, and it's a little walking person and the queue goes
Yeah.
down
You.
and you can see him. It was like that, and I was like 40,002 in the queue or whatever, and I was like, we're never getting these tickets. And
Yeah.
then I got in and there were still 3 days left, so I was like, shall we do it? Shall we go for it? But my card declined. It thought someone was trying to steal money from my bank from
Oh
overseas.
no.
So then we were like panicking, and then eventually Stuart's card worked. So it wasn't until after we booked it that we were like, oh my goodness, we've actually got these tickets. Like, this is going to be nuts because we're going to see all like the announcements and will we be able to get onto the panels. But yeah, so it was a 3-day, it was over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it was over a weekend. And then Oogie Boogie Bash was around the same time. And there was a D23 members night for Oogie Boogie Bash.
Okay.
But it was on the Saturday of the expo, and we felt like we're going to be far too tired doing a full day at the expo, a full night at Oogie Boogie Bash, and then up super early on the Sunday to go back to the expo again. So we ended up just doing it during our time at Disneyland. But there was an exclusive night for D23 members, and I think you were getting a free print and something else. I can't remember. There was free gifts anyway for members for Oogie Boogie Bash, so it was quite good.
Awesome. And
Mhm.
would you go again?
Yeah, 100%. That was an experience I don't think you'll ever get anywhere else. Like, we met so many amazing people. Like, waiting in the queue, Stuart wore a kilt as well, which caused a bit of a, like, talking point for people because people were like, "Oh, like, you're from Scotland, you've got a kilt on." So people were asking him lots of questions about the kilt and where we were from and why we were there. And we spoke to so many people that we would never normally talk to. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed really friendly, and you know, the queues were long. I'm not gonna lie. Like waiting to get in the morning, we were there for like an hour or two before the expo had even started, and you're sitting on the floor, or people are all around you. They're all sharing their snacks. We took UK snacks in our bag. Like we always take snacks when we go to Disney, so that like we just keep them in our bag. And we had wine gums. And there was a man and his son, young son, behind us, and they were like, "Is that UK wine gums? Is that wine gums from the UK?" And we were like, "Yeah, do you want a packet?" He was like, "Oh, yeah, please." He was like, "We love wine gums." So we were all, and then they had snacks in their bag, so they were giving us all these American snacks. Like we were all just, it was like a big picnic. We were all sharing, and there was a day. It was our last day actually. It was a Sunday, and we were in the queue, and in front of us was a Disney animator,
Yeah.
and he actually drew a picture of Mickey Mouse for us, like then and there.
Oh,
So
wow.
that
Really
was really.
special.
Yeah, he works in the animation building. Do you know where you can go and like draw Mickey Mouse or
Yeah.
learn to draw Stitch or whatever? So it's like one of these like one in a lifetime interactions that you get with people that
Yeah.
make it so special for us. And I met loads of people from Instagram as well. There was loads of people there at the same time, so it was really, really good.
Awesome. And just briefly going back to something you mentioned really earlier on, and I realized I haven't actually touched on it, and I know that some of the people watching tonight will appreciate us talking about this. You said that you've been to Alton Towers before. So
Yeah.
I want to know, what is your favorite ride and what is your worst ride for Alton Towers?
Oh my goodness. The name, a lot of the names escape me because that was the first time that I'd been. But I think it was 13. Is that the one that drops that you don't
I'm not too,
expect?
I've never been, so I was just curious, just
I
generally
don't know.
asking you.
Maybe someone in the
Maybe
chat will be
that,
able to.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's 13. And you do not expect it to drop, and this thing drops, but it was great. I loved that. That was brilliant. I think the worst one, I don't know. We went on one at first, and because I get really bad
yeah,
travel sickness, I felt really sick when we first got there because we'd driven all the way down. So we'd driven like 5 hours, and
yeah.
it's like country back roads to get into the park. So it's like winding roads. So I was already feeling sick, and then we done. I want to say it was Oblivion. Is that the right park? I don't know.
I'm
It's
not,
one of
again,
those
you're,
rides anyway.
I'm not too sure.
I
I asked you
know.
a silly question, haven't I? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's called that, and oh, it was horrible. I hated that. And there was another one. I
Yeah,
think it was called Rita. I wasn't really keen on Rita.
I've heard about
Um,
Rita.
it was good, but I loved that one that dropped. I think I'm almost certain it was called 13.
Yeah, well, anyone in the chat, if you're watching, then yeah, please let us know. So,
Yeah,
diverting back from Alton Towers, I just wanted, because I remember you saying about it.
yeah.
I see that you like Disney merchandise.
Oh, I love
So,
Disney
what
merch.
is the most Disney merchandise you have? Is it mini ears, lounge flies, lights? Because I can see the lights in the background, which look
I
amazing.
know. It's actually pins, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a huge pin collector. I've got a book full.
Oh, really?
Um, Yeah, I'm not as bad now. I used to trade when I was younger.
Yeah,
I loved pin trading. When I used to go to Walt Disney World with my parents, I would trade all the time. I would save my money for the whole year and just buy pins and trade with the cast members. But now I'll only buy them if it's like dated with a year, or like for Oogie Boogie Bash, I wanted to get one for that. Like specific events,
yeah,
or
yeah.
rather than spending a fortune on them, because you can get really carried away with pins, but I love them.
I want to know, what is your favorite pin that you own?
Oh. I love my pins from the 25th at Disneyland Paris,
Yeah.
but that's a tough one. Ooh, I think right now, as it stands, my favourite one is probably the one that we got given for free at D23 Expo.
Okay.
The one that we got from Disney Legends. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful pin. Um, oh, that's a tough one. Oh, I've got so many. I don't mean that in like a bragging way, but I've got loads to pick from.
Yeah.
I did get a full set of them at the because I went to Shanghai during its opening year, so I've got like a full set of opening year pins,
Oh, wow.
which I lucked out on because it was mystery bags or boxes.
Yeah.
Um, and I literally just I think it was 4 per box, and I just bought 4, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hopefully this is a whole set," and it turned out it was a whole set, so I was lucky in
Wow.
that case. Yeah, because
That
I
is
always get
definitely lucky.
doubles.
Yeah. And what was it like being at the opening, like the year it opened? Was it like extremely busy?
Yeah, it was extremely busy. I went during Chinese New Year as well,
Ah,
so
okay. Yeah.
I
Definitely
I
busy
think
then.
if I'd yeah, I think if I'd maybe gone at a different time of the year, I probably would have had a different experience.
Yeah.
And I met up with a girl that I had got speaking to through Instagram there. She lives
Yeah.
in Shanghai, and she was explaining a lot of the cultures to me, and if she wasn't there, I think I would have struggled a bit more. So she was explaining why they like, 'cause it sounds really bad, but they were, like, taking pictures of me and stuff, like, because my hair
Yeah.
was really light back then, but she was like, "Oh, they just don't see people that have, like, white hair, like,
Yeah.
really blonde hair, so, like, it's fine," and once I knew that, I was like, "Okay," I just felt a bit like, "Why is everybody staring? Like, why are they all
Yeah.
looking at me?"
Yeah. I
But
could
once she
that
explained it, she was like, "Oh,
yeah, probably very uneasily feeling having had
yeah,
that happen.
mhm,
I don't know how I'd cope with that. I don't like things like that.
I
So
know."
good on you.
And they
Good
were
on
like
you,
yeah, they were,
definitely.
like, touching my hair in the queues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, without
Yeah.
asking, like, touching it at the back, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is different." But she explained it all that, that a lot of them are here for Chinese New Year, and they maybe don't see, like, Western people that often,
Yeah.
so
Okay. And one more question about the Asian Disney parks. I've seen vlogs where the food just looks so good, and like the way they make them as well, like into the characters, is like
mhm.
too good to eat. Has there
Yeah.
anything that you've eaten which has been like your most perfect thing that you wish that the Western Disney parks would do?
I love the green alien. I can never say the name of it, but I think it's, like, mochi or something like that, the desserts, and they
Yeah, I've
come in a
seen the
little
thing
tub.
on that. Yeah,
Loved them. They were stunning, and I also got, like, a bao bun, and it looked like a Snowgie, from Frozen, those
yeah,
little snow men, and I was
yeah.
like, "I can't eat this. I cannot." I couldn't bring myself to eat it. It was so cute. Yeah, I just the and as Tokyo especially went all out for the themed food, and
Yeah,
I done, a restaurant there. It was like Plaza Gardens. I think it might have been called Plaza Gardens actually, but it was a Frozen celebration that was on at the time, so it was all Frozen
okay.
themed.
Yeah.
So all the desserts had, like, snowflakes and Olaf, and the carrots were all Mickey shaped eggs. This really baffled me how the yolk on an egg was shaped like Mickey. The actual yellow oak yolk, sorry.
So everything else was
Mickey
normal, and
shaped.
then like the yolk was just Mickey shaped.
Yeah, so it was like a boiled egg,
Yeah,
but the yolk was Mickey shaped. I don't know how they do it.
they must have like separated it. Must have
I
done.
know. I know. It's
Yeah,
mad. It's mad. It's mad.
yeah,
But yeah, it was so cute. It was so cute.
yeah. So we have a question. Adam wants to know, what is your favorite Disney ride?
Oh, depends on the park, I guess. I loved Mission Breakout, obviously at Disneyland, Disneyland Paris. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I think that's up there. And I loved Mystic Manor at Hong Kong. See if I could move Mystic Manor to Disneyland Paris, that would. I love Phantom Manor, but
Yeah,
Mystic Manor, I loved that. But oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. What's yours, Emma?
Good question. Okay, so in Disneyland Paris, I would have to say Pirates. That's in the main
Hmm.
park. In the studios, I think it would have to be RC Racer. I like that a lot.
I love RC Racer.
In Walt Disney World, uh, Magic Kingdom would have been Splash Mountain.
Hmm.
Um, Epcot would have been Cosmic Rewind. I can't pronounce my R's and W's.
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios would have been Tower of Terror, and Animal Kingdom would have been Everest or the Safaris, I think.
Oh, I love Everest. I love Everest. I
Yeah,
love
I was
Everest.
terrified, but I love it. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
So what
Splash
would be,
Mountain.
yeah, Splash Mountain. They're closing it in Disneyland now as well.
I know we had a bit of a funny experience on that in September. We were on it and we got soaked to the bone. Like, I'm not even joking. We were soaked right through. But as we were coming down the main dip, like the main bit at the end,
Yep.
Stuart's hat blew off. And it was like my reflexes were obviously on that day and I grabbed it, but he thought it had gone. Like, he was like, but I caught it all on film. So it's in one of the vlogs. It's so funny.
Oh,
Like,
wow. We'll have to go back and look at that.
I know you can't really tell what's going on, but actually, when now that I've mentioned it, if you were to watch it, you'll see that it's like you can see the panic on his face that the hat's gone, but actually I had
Yeah.
managed to grab it. It was so funny.
We be
Oh no,
Poppy's gonna miss it, but we be going to see it before it closes.
me no. Our
No.
next trip's Disneyland Paris, so that's not until October. So yeah, I
Okay,
won't be
yeah.
able to go
Well,
on it again.
we're gonna meet each other hopefully in October, aren't we?
I
Hopefully.
know next year,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
know.
That'll be no this year. I'm going this year in October.
Oh, I'll miss you. My dates don't cross
Uh
with yours, I don't think.
no, I think
No,
we've
I think
discussed this
I'm here
before,
till the
and then I got
12th, I think.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a shame.
know. Yeah.
Poppy, when are you going to Disneyland? I'd love to know. And I was going to ask you, what is your worst ride in all the Disney parks?
Oh, I don't know actually. Tower of Terror, I love to hate it. Like, it's so
Yeah,
scary. It scares the life out of me. The ghosts just get me. I don't know.
yeah,
The ghosts. Um Adam's just wrote Flight Force, and do you know what? I wanted to really like Flight Force,
yeah,
but I felt so sick on that. It rattles my
really.
head around like some. No, do you know what the worst one? As soon as I said it rattled my head, I will tell you what the worst ride in
I
Disneyland
think
Paris.
I know what you're talking about. Indiana
Indiana
Jones?
Jones.
Yeah,
Awful. Hate it. I do not go on it now. I just leave everybody else to go on. My mum and I,
yeah,
when we went in September, my mum and I just sat and had a coffee at the little shop outside.
yeah,
Everybody else went on, and me and my mum just had a coffee. 'Cause I was like, I am not going on that. That's awful.
yeah,
That needs
yeah.
ripped down.
Apparently, it used to go backwards. That's what I've been told by Rob. Apparently, it used to go backwards.
Yeah, I remember when it used to go backwards. It did definitely used to go backwards.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't believe that. So Poppy is going on the 8th of October to California.
Oh,
So,
nice. Or is that when it
and
closes? I don't know. Oh no, is that when
oh,
Poppy's going?
I'm not too sure. Ah, Adam doesn't like Indiana Jones either.
I know it's
Interesting.
awful. Do you know what?
Oh,
Indiana Jones in California was one of my highlights. That was a great ride.
yeah,
Indiana
yeah.
Jones. It's so different to that though.
Are you
You're
looking
in like
forward
a
to?
car.
Are you looking forward to the new movie?
Yeah, a lot of it was actually filmed in Glasgow. A lot of it
Oh,
was
really?
filmed here, yeah, up in Scotland. They filmed quite a bit of it, I think. Harrison Ford was here. I mean, I'm Edinburgh side. I'm not Glasgow side, but I know that a lot of people went and seen them filming it and stuff there. So that's pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see how they've managed to make it not look like Scotland. But
Yeah, because
um,
Scotland seems like the most not Indiana Jones place. Not being rude,
I
but
know. No. But Scotland's becoming more and more popular for movies. Like, obviously, Infinity War, there was bits of that filmed here as well. So more and more
Wow.
people are.
And Harry Potter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Harry
Yeah.
Potter.
Poppy is basically saying her favorite is my Star Tours, but she can't really do screen-based rides.
Yeah,
So
I'm the
yeah,
same. It's makes me so motion sick. It doesn't give me migraines, but it's a sickness. It makes me feel ill.
yeah, no, I can't do them. But I've learned that lesson. Like I said at the beginning, I learned that lesson.
I know, I know.
Okay,
I love it though.
quickly before we go, because I said we are going to do this, and I said we are going to end like a few minutes ago. I'm enjoying this conversation. Okay, 5 questions. Got the quiz cards
Oh
here.
dear.
So chat, you know how this works. I'm going to ask 5 questions. If Nick gets it first, she gets the point. If you guys get it first, you get the point. So let's
Oh
get
my
cracking
goodness.
on with it. Okay. Mulan disguised herself as a man to take the place in the army. Uh, wait. That's it. Mulan disguises herself as a man to take whose place in the army?
Her father's.
Yep. Well done. That was quick.
I know, I know.
Okay. Right. Okay. What are the crew of the ship in search for in the new world of Pocahontas?
Land, is it?
Uh, it's a, I guess you can call it a mineral. I guess I don't know. I'll say it again. So it's a film based on Pocahontas. It's not based, it is Pocahontas. And it's what are the crew of the ship in search for in the new world?
Oh my goodness, I've got no idea. I
It
thought they were trying to
is,
take over their land.
it's gold.
Oh,
So,
gold. Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
okay, right. This one's quite an easy one. So I think you'll get it
Oh
easily.
no.
What is the name of Mrs. Potts' son in Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, Chip.
Hey, that is an easy one. I think everyone in
I
the chat will
know,
get
that
that
was
one.
good.
Okay, right. I've said this one on here before, so I'm not going to say it. Let's choose a different one. Okay. Okay, so in Aladdin, what does Genie transform Aladdin's pet monkey into during the parade?
An elephant.
Yes. Well done. You're good at this. Look, you're beating the chat
I
already.
know.
Okay, right.
Yeah, Poppy said land as well. Poppy said land too. I'm convinced it was land as well.
Hold on.
I know it's gold.
Yeah, just so Poppy can see it as well. Yeah. I'm just going by what the card says this time.
I know, I know.
I haven't written the question myself. This time it's, yeah, I haven't made a mistake. Whew. Okay, okay. Um, let me try and find one that's not related to Aladdin.
I know, because that's my fave.
Oh, yeah, it is. I remember now.
I know.
Okay, this is The Lion King. Let's find out.
Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Okay. I'm going to give you 2 questions. I know I said 5, but these are good questions. So first one is, what type of animal is Timon?
A meerkat?
Yep. And which forbidden place do Simba and Nala visit before being chased by hyenas?
The elephant graveyard.
Yeah, there you go. Well done. So the next quiz I do on Zoom, you should easily win.
Oh no, no.
Yes, for anyone who doesn't know, I host Zoom quizzes, and it's once a month, based around Disney. And Nick's joined me before and is a
Yeah,
pro at that as well. So
so good.
this month's one is going to be on the 24th of May. So coming up, and I say it's Disney, but it's going to be Disney whole universe. So it could be Marvel, it could be Pixar, it could be the parks, it could be anything Disney related. So if you ever want to know anything about it, just give me a message on here or on my socials. And everyone's chat's coming in with all the right answers. So well done to everyone in the chat. And Nick, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to have you on my show, and I hope that you'd like to
Aw.
come back again one day.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This has been fun. I've loved this. Thanks, Emma.
Ah, brilliant. No worries. Thank you. And thank you so much, chat, for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves. I'll be back next week with another very special guest called Tori in Wonderland. And we'll see you then. So take care. Bye.
Bye.